Is this sedition? What does all this mean? What can really come of all of this? Let's bring in our senior judicial expert, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, what do you make of this video, first of all, and then obviously the president's response to it?
Okay, not something one usually discusses at 7:15 in the morning. Sedition and treason. Okay. Treason is waging war in the United States of America or aiding their enemies in wartime. That is punishable by death. It's off the table. That's not the case here. Okay. Sedition is the advocacy of using force to overthrow the government. So as aggravated as the president is, and it's understandable, this is not sedition. This is actually an accurate explanation of the law. If you've been through basic training, as I was 100 years ago, you learn on day 2 or day 3, you have no obligation to obey a manifestly illegal law. And the key word is manifestly. Must be obviously illegal. A sergeant says, there's, like Lieutenant Calley, there's a civilian over there, go kill her. Right. You don't obey that. You don't obey that law. There's a civilian in a speedboat, go kill him. You don't obey that law. The rule is all innocuous speech is absolutely protected, and all speech is innocuous when there is time for more speech to rebut it. So one way to interpret President Trump's swift and ferocious response was he's rebutting their speech with more speech. The remedy for incendiary speech, and this is quite incendiary, is not to silence them and not to punish them, but to challenge their speech. That's what the president has done.
And what they're saying is, and what they're implying, I should say, is that what the president is ordering many members of the military to do is illegal, but they don't give specifics here. So we don't think there's really any illegal things going on.
It's unclear exactly what they're talking about. Right. It's unclear if they're talking about troops helping ICE in American cities or Navy using drones and missiles to kill alleged drug dealers in the Caribbean. Right. For the latter, the government says it has a legal opinion claiming that it's lawful. It won't share that opinion with the public. Those of us that do for a living what I do are dying to see that because it's based on public law and publicly known judicial opinion, so how can it be secret? It's almost inconceivable to me that there is a valid legal argument there because the people on the boats are not engaged in violence. If they were engaged in violence against the U.S. Navy or the Coast Guard, of course the Navy and the Coast Guard can shoot back. But when they're not engaged in violence and you believe there are drugs there, you can't stop them in international waters. They're 1,500 miles from the U.S. But if they come within 12 miles of the U.S., you can stop them. So again, this may be what these members of Congress are doing. The other interesting thing is this. We don't know where they made this. If they made it in the Capitol, the speech and debate clause of the Constitution protects them. That insulates members of Congress from any adverse legal consequences because it's in furtherance of their jobs as members of Congress. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on this one, but I want to turn over to this. It's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. They never do go away overnight. All right, I want to turn now over to the latest judge to block president's crime crackdown. A federal judge ruling that the administration's deployment of the National Guard to D.C. was illegal, saying the move breached D.C.'s right to self-government. Just about 30 seconds. What do you make of this? This is a close call, in my opinion. The president has the right to call troops for 32 days. I don't know why it's 32, but that's what the statute says. It's now November. They've been there since August. So they certainly have overstayed the 32 days. You have the mayor of D.C. saying, I want them. They keep the streets safe. You have the attorney general of D.C. saying, we don't want them. They're reducing tourists. People don't like to see armed troops in the streets. Against the mayor's wishes, the attorney general of D.C. sued, and he prevailed. The judge put her opinion on hold for 21 days until it can be appealed.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.